Welcome back to my workshop. Now today I've got to start a new project and it's got a lot of routing in it. Now about 4 months ago I received a new router and I haven't even got it out of the box yet. So what I'm going to do today is quickly review or unbox and review this, which is the Triton Dual-Mode Precision Plunge Router. Now this is the 1400 watt version. Let's get it out of the box and see what we get. Okay, so this is the Triton Dual-Mode Precision Plunge Router, the 1400 watt version. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. I've had it for quite a few months. Let's quickly get it out of the box. Spanner, knob, fence, collets, polystyrene, a base, the router, and a book of instructions. Right, let's have a closer look. Okay, so I spent 5 minutes looking at all this and looking at the bits and pieces, had a quick look through the book, and after 5 minutes I am super impressed. This thing is full of features that you don't get on other routers. It looks like it's actually been designed by someone who actually uses a router. Right, let's have a quick look at some of the other bits and pieces you get first, and then we'll go over what's on the actual router. Right, first off, the base plate. Now this looks proper solid. It's better than the what you normally get is you get a couple of metal rods that actually attach onto the fence. These are normally a little bit wibbly wobbly and I tend not to use them. But looking at this looks like it could be actually useful. Also with this comes a fence. Now it's quite sturdy, it's quite thick metal for a tool like this. This looks like, again, another useful bit of kit. It's not cheap rubbish, it's quite good. Okay, it comes with 2 collets. One of them is a 1/4 and I think the other one is an 8mm. And you obviously get a spanner which has got this good crank on it, which is obviously for the collets. Okay, so they're good. Spanner doesn't look like you're going to be able to bend that without really trying your best. So yes, good quality. Now you've got this lever or this winder. Now this is for, you can mount the router in a router table and you can actually put this through the top of the router table and adjust it from the top. Now this is something that's a pain on my other router. You can't adjust it from the top. So they've obviously thought about it with this one. So you can use this not only as a handheld router, but also mounted into a table. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Right, so they're all the accessory bits. I'll show you how to fit those in a minute. Let's have a quick look at the router. Okay, so the router itself, because I live in the UK, it comes with this plug, which is the UK standard 3-pin plug, but it also looks like this can be converted to be used in the EU. So it looks like you can actually take this bit off and plug in an EU type of connector, but I should be using it as a standard 3-pin plug. Okay, right, the router itself, it's not that heavy. It's a lot lighter than the one that's in my table at the moment, because that's a 1/2 inch chuck. This is obviously a 1/4 inch or an 8mm. Right, it feels nice. Obviously it's got the adjustments here, not too heavy. Yeah, seems pretty good. Right, what have we got? Let's start with the on-off switch. So here you've got an on-off switch. Now you can't accidentally turn this on and off, so they've obviously thought about that. Okay, so what it's got here is a little door that covers over. Now obviously you can't push this because there's a door in the way. Yeah, what you have to do, slide the door out of the way, push the on button and then let go of the door, and it won't come back because the switch is actually stopping it. But as soon as you push the stop, the door shuts, so then you can't accidentally start it again. Good safety feature. Okay, so on all routers, obviously when you're plunging, Yeah, sometimes you don't want to plunge, so we've got a lock here which locks over into place, and that stops you pushing it down. Feels quite good, doesn't feel like it's going to break off at any time, so that feels good. Excellent. Right, and actually plunging it down, it won't plunge. Oh no, it's broken. No, it's not. What we got here on this handle here, not this one, but this one with the big orange knob in it. You've got a button in the middle, push the button in, and then you can plunge it down. Okay, if you let go of it, then you can't plunge it down. So another safety feature. Okay, so push it down. Excellent. But also, what if I wanted to take it down slowly? If we look on here, there's a collar. Yeah, collar. What you do is you pull that collar in, and then you wind it. You wind it up and down. Yeah, so let go of it, and it's locked again. Push the button, and you can plunge it. So there's different ways of actually moving it up and down. Okay, yeah, excellent. Okay, as I say, this is a 1400 watt machine. Now it looks like it's got a variable speed. Okay, that's excellent. Now I plugged it in just now and it was making some strange, not router type noises. And it's just because this was turned down to 1 and the spindle was going really slowly. So when you first plug it in, it's not broken, it's just turned down. All right, which is probably a good thing, because if it was wound up to 5, that might scare you a little bit. Right, we'll start it up in a minute to have a look. But speed control. Right, what else have we got? Oh, there's so many things. Okay, so here we got a dust extraction port. We've got a guard on either side. Okay, so you can actually still see through, but I think it helps with the dust extraction, stops all the dust flying out the side, and allows you to collect it from the dust port. Now the dust port is 38mm across, so if your shop vac is that size, you're on a winner. Okay, depth stop. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so I've brought you in for a closer look here. Now on the depth stop, that is, so when you plunge down you go to a fixed depth. It looks like there's 3 different settings here. Yeah, all done by this rotary stop. Okay, it looks like you've got 2 adjustable stops. So if you're plunging at 2 different depths, you can set them, and then it saves you setting and resetting every time. You know what I mean. And also there's a platform type of stop. Okay, there is measurements on the side here, but obviously you'd probably measure it separately anyway. And the way it works is, let's put it on the platform type. Now here, this bar, you can see it, this bar here is fixed by this knob. Okay, and what happens if you release the knob, this drops down. Okay, then you set your plunger or your router down to the depth you want, then lock off the knob. Okay, then this bar stays where it is, so every time you plunge it'll go down to this. But if you wanted to do it specific sizes, okay, and to use the 2 adjustable type of settings here, so if we've got this one set here and this one set up here, we can do our first pass on the shallow one, turn that round. Obviously our sleeve is set to a certain height, okay, and that'll only go down so far. Do your pass, then turn it around onto the next one and do your second pass. Okay, that's roughly how that works. It looks like it's a usable thing. Okay, lock that, get that out of the way, then you've got a free plunge. Right, that's the depth adjustment. Okay, so again, after another 10 minutes, another thing I like about this is, normally with a router, if you want to do anything, if you want to change the collet or anything like that, it's a bit of a pain. You've got to lay it somewhere or put it in a vise so you can change the collet. But this one stands up on its own, which is nice, and that allows you to change your collets. Let's have a look at that. Okay, for changing the collets, these things, it's actually got a spindle lock. Now this button here, you don't push it with your finger, and what that does is it actually stops the spindle from turning, so you can actually use the spanner. Now what happens, there's an angle on here, if you can see, there's an angle on there, and what happens when you push down the plate, it actually pushes on that and locks the spindle. Right, so I'm hoping you can see this because I can't actually see the camera at the moment. Right, what do you do to change your spindle is you actually wind the platform as far down as you can, okay, and then just rotate it and it clicks into lock, okay. And if you can see here, yeah, the little plunger comes through and that's what stops the spindle turning, okay. And then obviously from there you can fit your collet, get your swanky spanner, okay, and tighten it up, obviously with your router bit in it. Okay, so that is quite good. If you have trouble doing that, just check to see if your depth stop here is fitted in the wrong place, okay, because if it's adjusted wrong you may not be able to get this base down far enough, okay, but it works, actually works really well. Right, so before we get onto some of the accessories, just one more method. Obviously we know we now can do this, and we can also push the button and plunge it, okay, but if you want a bit more precision, what you can do is this knob on the top here, yeah, you could turn this and it takes it down very slowly. Okay, so that precision adjustment can help you if you just want to take a tiny little bit more off, or if you want to adjust it. Yeah, very good precision adjustment. But this also is part of this malarkey. Okay, the idea is once this is actually mounted into a router table, what you've got is you've got your fine adjustment knob there, but on the other end of it there's a little spigot like this. Okay, so the fine adjustment you'd get by turning the knob, you can also get it by inserting this through the table onto that end, then adjusting it, and it has the same effect. So windy, windy, wind. Okay, so obviously this would be mounted or pushed through your table, a hole in the table, and held securely, so it wouldn't be doing this. All right, now this is a real benefit. So if you're going to use this mounted in a table somewhere, this is excellent because you can access all of your adjustments from the top. And obviously same thing if it's mounted in a table with it fully extended, yeah, and the collet lock in place, you can then replace the collet. Excellent. Right, let's have a look at the other accessories. Okay, so it comes with this base plate, which, as I say, is quite a sturdy piece. And basically what happens is the router fits on here, and then the fence also fits onto here. The fence has got two knobs. You loosen the knobs off, okay, and that frees up these two brackets. Okay, then these brackets slide onto here. I'm going to make this look really easy, and then you adjust it accordingly, and then once you're happy with the size, you just tighten the knobs up like this, and then that's solid. Okay, but how do you mount the router on it? Now here, this hole here and this hole here, they correspond to this and this on the router. Okay, and what you've got is you've got a knob here which you undo and push it through, and it exposes that bolt head. Okay, and that's what fits in here. Once you've got your fence on, to mount this onto this, you literally undo these knobs, and that allows you to push up these two pins. Put your plate on the top, push your pins through, slide the table across, and then tighten your knobs up. And this one, this one. Okay, and the router actually locates on these two lugs here. Right, so that's that now mounted, proper sturdy. So then this obviously mounts on whatever it is you're routing, and you use that as the fence. Okay, I like that a lot. Okay, so if you wanted to use the base plate for something else and you didn't want the fence, you literally just undo your knobs and then slide it off. Okay, the fence has actually got a few holes in it, so if you wanted to put some sort of sacrificial fence on it, then you could do that. And you could also use that on here as basically as a router fence. Okay, but also on the base plate, another interesting little feature, this bit here. What's this for? Right, if you look underneath, there's just a little butterfly nut here, yeah, and that moves it up and down. And what you can do is you can actually put a pin or a nail or something through there, put it in your whatever position you want it in, and then you could actually use that as the center point of a piece of wood, and then use it to create circles. Okay, so if I finish with the base plate, it's a simple case of undoing these nuts and then removing it. Excellent. Don't forget to tighten these down because otherwise they might vibrate loose. Okay, so it's a very quick look at all the accessories that come with it. There's a lot of functions there that a lot of other routers don't have, so I'm quite impressed. Okay, so the only thing remains is to actually start it up. I'm obviously not going to be cutting any wood with it yet until my project is on the way. But let's just try it and see how loud it is. Let's make sure my spindle's tight. I love that. Okay, so to start it, obviously I've got to open the door and then push the switch. Okay, that's on number one. So as you can see, with it running, it's not that noisy. I should imagine once you've got a router bit in there and you're actually pushing wood through it, then it's going to be a bit more noisy. Apparently it has a speed of between 8,000 and 21,000 RPM, and also a constant speed under load function. This I'll have to find out about once I'm actually using it. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do my project. I won't include that in this video. But I'll leave some information in the comments if anything else happens. So far, I'm impressed. Okay, so that's it. It was just a quick unboxing and a first impressions type of look at this, which is the Triton Dual-Mode Precision Plunge router, the 1400 watt version. They do a 2.4 kilowatt version, which is a 1/2 inch chuck, but that probably would have been a bit big. I just wanted a 1/4 one. I think I'm going to like this a lot. It's a nice handy size, bigger than my palm router, but not as big as the one in my table, so it's a good compromise. Loads of functions and features that a lot of other routers don't have. This is currently about £169 from places like Screwfix, or obviously you can buy it directly from Triton. Yeah, it's going to be good. What I'll do is I'll use it, and then if I have any opinions about it, I'll put them in the comments below, but I think it's going to be great. Okay, that'll do. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Oh, for God's sake. Clang. Okay, so that's it. It's a But they was just what come with it. That's just what type mil type of connector. Then this is the place to go.